This is the Nike React Infinity Run Flyknit 3. Nike's motto is that this shoe keeps runners running. Let's lace up this shoe to test this theory after 100 miles. I have completed 100 miles in the Nike React Infinity Run Flyknit 3s. And so I'd like to give my full review and observation of this shoe. And so I'd like to start off with the specs of the shoe. And so the cushion, the cushioning is a medium cushion. It's a neutral shoe with some stability because of the heel clip here. Again, the heel stack is 34 millimeters in the heel, and it is 26 millimeters in the forefoot, which is an 8 millimeter drop. The weight of the shoe is 10.5 ounces or 297 grams in men's size 9. So mine is size 11, so it's a little bit more. It's true to size to fit, and so it has a midsole, the Nike React rocker geometry. It has an injected TPU heel clip. Outsole has a strategic rubber along the bottom here. The upper is a Flyknit and a fly wire midfoot. So let's go over my observation of how the shoe did and how I rated each part of the shoe there. The upper, I give the upper at least 3 stars, and this is the reason why. This is a big reason why I gave it 3 stars, and maybe the overall rating of the shoe was probably not the highest. It could have been a little bit higher, but the upper, mostly the upper part, the Flyknit, was pretty comfortable. One thing I have noticed that it is pretty warm. It's not too breathable, and so it accumulates sweat very quickly, and it doesn't evaporate very well through that. So it's a very warm type of shoe there, but very comfortable. I feel like I can spread my toes out, and so I felt very comfortable with that. The heel counter was not very comfortable, I can tell you that, to be honest with you. It was very painful. When I first ran in it, about after 2 miles, I started developing a little bit of hot spot on my left ankle, on the posterior aspect of the lateral ankle there. And so it created a little bit of sore. I ran about 5 miles, and it took a little while for that to heal, so I was very uncomfortable. To be honest with you, I was not too excited to grab this shoe again, and almost gave up on that shoe because of that discomfort. The heel collar doesn't have as much foam, and later on I kind of described what I was thinking, reason why it was giving me issues there. It was because of just the design of it and maybe rubbing up against that lateral aspect of the shoe. This is the right shoe, so actually both of them kind of rubbed a little bit too, but the left one was more. And it's something I would definitely be cautious with if you do buy this shoe, and I'll give my full observation if you should buy this shoe or not. I would definitely wear longer socks there. I think I did that in my first impression there. So I would definitely wear a longer sock with this shoe here. And so that's the only downside that I see. It's very hard and rigid. It's not very comfortable there. But the more miles that I ran in it, my ankle started to heal up a little bit, so it created a little sore, so it's getting better. It's not as painful, so it's a little bit more comfortable for me to wear. compared to whenever I first started. So I had a kind of a bad first impression, you know, with the first part of the the run. So I'm over 100 miles on this shoe, and so it's starting to get a little bit more comfortable there. The lockdown, I gave it about 3.75. I didn't give it quite 4 just because it did slip a little bit that first day. Once you cinch it down, it does seem to kind of lock in a little bit there too from the upper. The fly wire is, you can definitely feel it kind of cinch down on your midfoot. Sometimes it might be a little tight, so you know, like I said, be careful and wear a high sock if you do buy this shoe here. It did seem like it kind of rubbed on the heel a little bit there too, but overall it did seem like it would lock down once I kind of learned how to fit the shoe a little bit better there. The midsole, again, it is the Nike React. We've seen this as well as in the Pegasus. This is a full Nike React foam. There's nothing else, no kind of Zoom foam or anything like that, or Zoom bag or anything like that in the foam there, just like the Nike Pegasus has. It definitely wants to respond very well. And one thing I noticed too, whenever you're running with this shoe, it does really responsive on the forefoot here. So you can feel that rocker push off. But if you do land on the heel, it's too cushy a little bit. It feels like it squishes down a little too much. You can even notice that whenever you're walking, it squishes down a little too much when you're running, and you can feel the ground a little bit more compared to here. So if you do like to feel the ground when you're running, the shoe might be for you. You know, definitely you can feel the cushion in here, but it seems like it might be a little too squishy. But like I said, it does seem to react a little bit the faster you go. It is something that I noticed the faster I went. At a more moderate type of pace, it felt pretty comfortable. But if I went kind of a low speed, easy speed recovery, it seemed like I could feel the ground a little bit more there. It might be because of the rocker design geometry to kind of go a little bit faster there. And then, like I said, the rocker geometry there, that's kind of what it's for. The TPU heel cup, I think that's probably what was causing maybe the ankle sore there, is because this is stable here, but then you have this really cushy heel that squishes down, and so what happened was it would rub up against that lateral aspect of my ankle there, and you know, even just a little bit, even if it was locked down pretty good, you could still feel that rigid part of the shoe there. And again, it's not too comfortable, not a lot of cushion, so that'd be great if Nike could maybe get a little bit more cushion into that shoe there. That's something that I would like to see. And so it doesn't, what happens is that whenever you pronate, you naturally, when you do heel strike or if you forefoot strike, your foot is going to naturally pronate. And that's something that we all do. Pronation is part of the body mechanics of running. And then whenever you push off your toe, your heel supinates in, that what locks the foot and gives your foot an arch. And so what happens is I feel like that restricts you a little bit there too during that pronation part of it. And especially with it being a neutral shoe, that back part of your heel kind of doesn't allow that. And what happens is that rubs up against that heel cup there. And so the outsole, I gave the outsole a pretty good score there, 4.5 score out of, this is out of 5 stars, so 4.5 out of 5 stars there. And durability, I feel like you've got a lot of rubber. There's not a lot of wear, maybe right there on my toe area there. You might not be able to see that area, but that's the only thing I see that has worn. The bottom part of the heels is pretty good, and so, you know, I'm thinking maybe 500, 600 miles in the shoe. The React foam may not last that long. It's still pretty good with the foam there, but like I said, I like to see that foam a little bit more, a little different foam there. At the ride, I give it about 4 stars. So something that, you know, you can definitely feel smooth. And if you pick up the pace, it feels responsive, and something that I think that you can have an enjoyable ride if you can get past the lockdown and making sure you don't have any skin breakdown. I think that's the killer for me was the skin breakdown. I was definitely very uncomfortable for several miles until like maybe a couple days ago. Whenever I ran my long run, I was like, this is a little bit more comfortable. I ran about 16 miles this weekend, and so it's was a little bit more comfortable there. Weight, I think this shoe might be a little too heavy. It's 10.5 ounces, 297 at men's 9. So you imagine men's 11 in US shoes. That is a little bit heavier, and plus whenever you got that Flyknit material and you sweat, and that shoe is going to be even heavier there. So something I think that maybe they can get a little bit more of that engineering mesh type of material. Maybe that'll be a little bit more breathable. I know they're trying to do durability, something that will last long. So I definitely understand the reasoning behind it, because it is a pretty durable type of material. So 3.5 on the weight there. Price point, I really think the price point on this shoe, you're looking at $160 that I paid for the shoe. So with the skin breakdown and the material, I think I was expecting a little bit more from this shoe than for $160. I paid less for shoes before and got a lot more out of a shoe. So I was kind of disappointed about the price. You pay a certain amount of money on a shoe, you expect to be able to perform, so I wasn't too pleased with that. So if this shoe continues to be in the same design, I would like to see Nike to actually decrease the price on this shoe to make it a little bit more affordable, or change some things in the shoe to make it a $160 shoe. I think that would be great, because I think there's other $160 pair of shoes that are or even cheaper that can perform just as well or even better than that. And so the overall score out of 5 stars, I gave this shoe 3.6 stars. So not too bad, but I think it's something that could do better. I think they can design this a little bit better, make it more breathable, give it a little bit more padding in the heel cup area there to maybe improve the stability here, or maybe give some stability here in the shoe. So I think that's some things that you can that the shoe can improve on. So what have I been using this shoe for? I've been using it for long runs, easy runs, and daily training. So I don't think it's something that I would go out and do a tempo run in, or even speed work or anything like that. I would definitely maybe use this for an easy day, long runs, or I did some strides in them during my long runs, and it felt okay, but something I think that's not going to push you because of all the really good cushion there too. So something that's going to, you need something a little bit more like the Zoom X, something like that, some sort of foam that would respond a little bit better, or something that has a carbon plate or something like that to give you a little bit more response. Other shoes that you can buy that are similar in prices and maybe similar shoes is the Asics Glide Ride 3. That's a newer shoe, about $150. That shoe hasn't been out yet. But then there's the Glide Ride 2s, about $129.95. This is all in Runner's World. So this is where I got this shoe, as a Runner's World. Clifton Hoka is another great shoe that you can get for $139.95. Probably the new generation will be coming out fairly soon. I'm not really sure on that. Pegasus 38, great shoe. I put 950 miles on that shoe. It's a shoe that will last you for a long time. And, originally it's $130. I bought that shoe you can buy that shoe for $104.88 at Runner's World. So definitely a great shoe to run in. Has the same type of foam, but also has the Nike Zoom airbag in there, and also the Nova Blast. Everyone has heard about that, and some of these shoes I haven't ran up. The Cliftons and the Pegasus I've ran up, but the other two I have not ran up. The Nova Blast 2s or 3s are about $129.95. I imagine the 2s are probably going to be on sale fairly soon, because the 3s are coming out fairly soon. So those are 4 good shoes you probably could get other than this right here that compared to this shoe. So would I recommend this shoe the Nike React Infinity Run Flyknit 3s, I'm probably going to say no. And unless if Nike changes some things, for example, like improving the padding on the shoe here, potentially maybe making it a little bit more stable through here with maybe some sort of zoom bag, or taking out the heel clip, so that way you have a little bit better play with your heel there. You know, again, making it a stability shoe, because it is kind of a heavy shoe for a daily trainer there. And also, you know, if you don't make any changes, maybe if Nike doesn't make any changes, maybe making the price point a little bit lower, and that might be something that maybe in the future, hopefully maybe they make some changes there. Maybe if enough of us kind of talk about this right here, that and again, the price point is for what you get definitely is not exactly what I was expecting there for this shoe. I hope this review is helpful for you to make your decision on buying this shoe. Like I said, I probably wouldn't buy this shoe again, but I am going to take this shoe through the paces and see if I get 500, 600 miles out of these shoes. So, you know, another 500 miles in this shoe. We'll see. And so this concludes this video on this shoe review. Hope everyone out there keeps safe, keep running, and we'll see you next time.